Welcome to another episode of Class Haven Farms. My name is Andy. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure you subscribe and follow us along. So what do we got going on today? Well, today we are cleaning out the chicken coop because we need some good brown material so I can start making our 18-day compost. This is the first time I've ever attempted this 18-day compost, so stay tuned and follow us along. So I have Ethel here. I guess she wants to investigate and see what I'm doing. As some of you know, one thing that I like to do with my chickens is I use the deep bedding method. Which the deep bedding method is over a period of time, you just keep adding and adding your wood chips or your straw or whatever it is that you're using as bedding for the chickens. You just keep adding to it. One of the main reasons why I've gone to that bedding method is I don't like putting heat light lamps in the coop. And in the past I would do that because my water would freeze. I'd have a lot of issues. Since then I've bought watering systems that are heated, so I don't have to worry about that. And so that took care of that problem. But I still use the deep bedding method just because it insulates the coop a little bit better, and it gives me a really good base for making my compost. Now, what I used to use a lot of this bedding for was all my apple trees that I had at the old house. I don't have those anymore, so I'm kind of turning my focus into making 18-day compost. I've never done 18-day compost before. I've been kind of watching some other channels on YouTube and looking at some other things, and you know, we're right around the corner. Here we are in southern Maryland, and it is mid-March. Of course, earlier this week it was like in the 70s, and last night it was 32, and it's I think the weatherman said that the temperature today is 36, but because of the wind it feels like 31. So with all of that going on, spring is right around the corner. And again, like I've said in previous videos, this is my first time having a garden in 3 years. And I have absolutely no good soil to help out my plants. So I'm going to try my hand at this 18-day method. But the first thing I need is some good brown material with some chicken manure in it. The other thing that I have, and I'll show you guys over here by the barn, is I have a bunch of wood chips down here from a tree company that did some work down here on the road, and I asked them a while ago, hey, if you need to get rid of that stuff, you can dump it over here. And I apologize if the wind is really bad. It's just been real windy here lately. So I have a bunch of wood chips there, so that'll be good brown material. And I have some of this chicken bedding with manure in it. We also have the goat bedding, which the good thing about the goat bedding is I use straw, but I also use hay. So the goats will eat some of the hay, and other parts of the hay that they don't eat still have good green material to it. So with the way the weather is right now and grass, we don't really have a whole lot of grass. So I don't have a lot of good green material to throw in there. So I'm just going to try it with what I have in the hay from the goats, what I have here in the bedding from the chickens, and what I have down there. And I guess that's a good thing. If it turns out not to be any good, this is how you kind of figure this stuff out, so you guys can kind of learn from some of my mistakes. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this cleaned out here, get all this bedding out, get it out of the new coop that we built a couple months ago, and then go up here and show you guys what I have set up to make this 18-day compost. So this 18-day method, you take some wire. So this is just welded wire, and this is actually some of the welded wire that I used around the trees to protect them from the deer at my old house. So it's 4 foot tall. It's about 4 foot wide. It's going to make over just a cubic foot of compost. So you use this to set your base up. So now that I have this set up, I have my pile of chicken manure, brown material. I have my pile of wood chips for brown material, and then I have the hay that also has some goat manure in it, and also will use some coffee grounds that I have to act as an activator. So the first part of this, once you get this ring set up, and you could use anything, you can use welded wire, you can use hardware cloth, basically it doesn't have to be anything particular, but it's just a way to form your pile up in the initial part. So I'll use this ring for 4 days. After the 4th day, I take this ring down, and then every 2 days I'm just flipping the pile over of compost to get it to keep breaking down and get that nice temperature on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the hose and wet this thing down, and you have to really saturate this whole base layer. I think probably one of the biggest, you guys, but I am done with the wind. Absolutely done with the wind. You just saw in the last part of that video, the wind just knocked my tripod over. It actually broke part of the microphone antenna off, so hopefully, I don't know, maybe it's still working, maybe it's not. If not, I guess I'll voice over all this thing. So as I said before the camera fell, is I am just going to saturate this entire area with a lot of water. And the key to this is you want to put a lot of water on this compost pile as you build it, because once you get done building it, you're actually going to wrap it with a tarp to kind of keep all that moisture inside, and to keep any moisture out, any extra moisture that might come if you have rain or anything like that. And with this wonderful Maryland weather we have, who knows, we might get snow tomorrow and then 80 degrees come Friday. I think Thursday we're supposed to be in the 70s. It's awesome. So I'm just going to wet this down really good. Another thing that I forgot to mention, I also have some wood ash that I'm going to use. And I know sometimes with wood ash, and what you always hear from everybody is wood ash is good to use, wood ash is bad to use. So I'm not going to use a whole lot of it, but I am going to try to sprinkle some in there. Basically just trying to use everything that I have. So whatever I have is what I'm going to use. I'm kind of worried about with this 18-day method, since I'm doing it and it's cold out and I don't have a whole lot of green material. I don't know how good this batch of compost is going to come out. But if it comes out bad, well, then it's a learning curve. So I'll know that I have way too much brown material and not enough green material. The only good thing about the green material is I literally have 4 acres of pasture field that I could probably start cutting now and pull some green off if I really needed to, if this didn't work out too well, because that part of the field is actually starting to grow. The kids took their go-kart down there the last weekend they were with me, and I could already see where it probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me to get down there. So what I'm doing now is I'm laying just a good base of brown material, and the brown material that I'm using for my first part of the base is just the wood chips. So not the wood chips with the chicken manure in it, just the wood chips that I got from the tree service. Lil, stop eating the chicken poop. Thank you. Good night. Gotta love dogs and chicken poop. I'll tell you, that's probably one of the best things that I like about the Premier One fence, is that Ruby and Lily's never been able to get to the chicken poop, but Ruby is a connoisseur of chicken poop. Ruby, my beagle, likes to just eat chicken poop like it's caviar or something. So the Premier One fencing really limited a lot of that. So I'll go ahead and cut you guys off here, because literally all I'm doing is just loading this stuff up. Now once I get a good layer of this brown material here down, then I'm going to wet this down really heavy, just like I did the original ground section. Before I cut you guys loose on this, something to think about when you're layering this: you want to do a layer of brown material, you want to do a layer of green material, and in between each layer you want to water it really heavy. And when you finish it, you want to finish it with brown material on top. Now in 4 days, all of this is going to get flipped. But from everything that I've read and research that I've done, it seems like you want to start with your brown material down as your base, and you want to finish with brown material. So I will bring you guys back once I get done laying this down and watering it, and then we'll put some chicken manure down, and then we'll put some green down. Now is, sorry, I'm just making sure this microphone's good. Hopefully another gust of wind doesn't knock it over. So I have the wood chips down, I soaked them. I have chicken manure down, I soaked that. And now I'm going to throw some of bedding that came from the goats. Now in this bedding, there's a lot more hay than there is straw. There is some straw in here, but there's more hay in here. So I'm hoping that this will act as a pretty good green source. And again, if it doesn't, I will know, because typically what you want is you want the temperature of this compost pile to be about 150 degrees. So in 4 days, we'll be able to check it and see where that temperature is. Now, if the temperature isn't high, chances are it will be because I don't have enough green material, or it could be because this wonderful weather is just not cooperating with what we would all like for it to do. So as I put this green material down, I'm just wetting it down, and I'm talking, you got to really soak this. From everything that I've looked at, and don't mind the dogs, they're running around chasing each other. It's funny. Ruby doesn't want to play. I'm gonna hold on to this thing so it don't blow over again. Ruby doesn't want to play. She doesn't want to play. But Lily will, because she's a shepherd and she's smart, Lily will nip at her and basically tick Ruby off to the point where now all of a sudden Ruby will run around this entire property chasing Lily. So Lily gets exactly what she wants, and Ruby has absolutely no idea that she basically just got played by the young German Shepherd. So as I said, what you want to do is you really want to wet this down. This is what everybody says. Make sure you put a lot of water on this and really wet it down. And I can already feel everything around the cage here is very wet. So I must be doing a good job because it's just running out. And like, as I said, that's what everybody says, that's what you want. So we'll wet this down, and I'll put another layer of wood chips, another layer of chicken manure and chicken wood chips, and then some green material down. And then on top of that green material, I will put my coffee grounds that I've been saving. So I saved my coffee grounds, and I'll also probably start working some wood ash into here as we go through. So I'll go ahead and turn you guys off and take this camera off the tripod so the wind doesn't blow it down, because I don't need that to break, because then I'll be out of phone. We got a couple different layers of brown material, green material, brown material, green material, and each time over top the green material I would throw a little bit of wood ash. So I'll do that now, and I'm basically just not putting a whole lot in here, just kind of covering it. Oh, it's wonderful when the wind is right in your face when you're doing that. And then again, we'll wet this down. And water is the key. Everything that I've saw in this, you want to really saturate each layer as you put it down. So we'll get the wood ash kind of watered down a little bit. Then I will dump my coffee grounds in there. Now, here's the thing. It's just me by myself here. Now, I do have the kids part of the time, but I don't have a whole lot of food scraps, and I might drink 1 or 2 K-cups a day. I don't do use a conventional coffee maker because it's just me, and even when I was married, I was the only one that drank coffee. So what I'm putting in now is coffee grounds. And from everything that I've read and listened to on this is kind of your activator. So I had a good coffee grounds I've been saving for a while. Lily, please don't knock the tripod over. I'm trying to watch the camera because I've had a couple gusts of wind that have knocked the tripod over. I really don't want that thing to fall over. Probably already going to have to buy another microphone now because while it's working, it's definitely damaged. So you guys kind of get the gist of it. I mean, it's just layer after layer after layer, and then I will wrap this entire thing with a tarp, and it will stay like this for 4 days. Now after 4 days, I'll remove the tarp and remove the ring, and then basically take this pile and flop it over here into this pile. So I will bring you guys back for when I wrap it, and then that will be it. I am pretty much done. The temperature has dropped, the sun is down, and my hands are freezing. I could probably put a little bit more in there, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'm pretty happy with where it's at. So just kind of give you guys an up-close shot of it. Let me move back some. You can see the layers here. So again, I started with a brown material, and then I ended with a brown material. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this tarp on it. I'm not going to take a video of you guys of me putting a tarp on it, but I'll come back to it once I'm done. And then it will stay this way for 4 days. So let me go ahead and get this tarp on it before the wind picks up, and then it blows me away. All right, so the tarp is completely done. The end of my microphone ended up breaking, so I guess I'll have to get a new one of those. So hopefully you can hear me okay. And if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow us along. I'll make sure I get a new microphone, and the wind has died down some, so that was good. I didn't blow away on that. If this is your first time watching, if you watched all the way through, my name is Andy. You can also follow Class Haven Farms on Instagram and Facebook. And if you ever would like to get a hold of me, I put a little message out in the last video I did that I had some Class Haven Farm stickers made up. So if you'd like to swap stickers, if you got a sticker for your channel, or you would like to get one from me, you can email me at classhavenfarms@gmail.com, or you can contact me through Facebook and through Instagram on Class Haven Farms. So as always, appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one.